Right now, you are actively paying for something you forgot you ever signed up for. Maybe it is $7 or maybe $12 or maybe a little more than that. That small forgotten charge has been pulling money from your account for months without stopping. Most people have no idea how many subscriptions they are actually paying for right now. Research shows the average American underestimates what they spend on subscriptions by about $80. That is nearly $1,000 a year, silently vanishing without a trace of evidence. My name is Ryan, and I spend way too much time thinking about personal finance. If you feel like your money disappears before the end of the month, then welcome. Make sure to hit the subscribe button and give this video a thumbs up today. Here is the thing. Most financial advice skips the part that is quietly bleeding you. Everyone talks about investing and budgeting, but almost nobody starts by addressing the subscriptions first. And that is exactly backwards from where your real financial cleanup should actually be starting. Today, I am going to walk you through the exact subscription audit I ran myself. I found over $347 in charges I was completely unaware of. And the worst part is, I genuinely believed I was already being careful with money. If you believe this does not apply to you, that feeling alone is worth examining, because the people who think they know exactly where their money goes usually do not. Look, nobody ever taught you how to audit your spending, and that is completely okay. This is about giving you a simple process that actually puts your own money back. Now, here is what most people do not realize about how subscription businesses actually work. These companies are not just hoping you forget. They are actively engineering you to forget. They literally have entire teams whose only purpose is making sure you never click cancel. Their entire business model is built around one very simple psychological flaw that everyone shares. And I will explain exactly what that psychological flaw is in just a little bit. Before I explain the flaw, I want you to do one quick thing right now while watching this video, because it will matter later on. Go ahead and take a quick mental guess. How many paid subscriptions do you think you currently have running on your bank or credit card? Most people guess between 3 and 6. And in that particular moment, the number they name honestly feels like a completely fair and accurate answer. Now here is what the data says when people actually run the audit. The gap between their initial guess and real reality is genuinely shocking. According to one consumer research study, the average person carries roughly 12 active subscriptions, which is almost twice as many as most people typically guess. And those 12 subscriptions add up fast. We are talking Netflix, Spotify, Hulu, gym memberships, app subscriptions, meal kits, cloud storage, and everything in between. Now you might be thinking, okay Ryan, I actually know all of mine and I genuinely keep close track of every single dollar going out. And I hear you. That is exactly what I thought too, until I sat down and discovered that $347 reality check. The dangerous ones are never the big obvious subscriptions you notice. They are the small recurring charges that quietly blend into your statement's background noise. You see a charge for $4.99 and your brain dismisses it instantly because $4.99 just does not feel like a problem worth solving. But if you have 5 of those $4.99 charges, that is nearly $25 a month gone and you never even blinked at it. That is $300 a year flowing out to services you have not used in months and you never once thought to question it. This is where it gets really interesting. The psychology behind subscriptions starts to reveal just how deliberately these systems were designed to exploit your brain. Simply put, your brain does not cancel things. It tolerates things, and the subscription industry has built an entire empire on exploiting that one tendency. Think about it this way. When did you last actively choose to keep a subscription versus just never getting around to the act of canceling? There is a massive difference between those two things, and that exact difference is precisely where all your hidden charges are very quietly coming from. There was an old fitness app I downloaded 2 years ago, never opened once, and it had been billing me $14.99 every single month. A free trial I had signed up for 2 years earlier, fully forgotten, had been rolling over and billing me $15 every single month. That is the single most frustrating part. I did not cancel because the service was terrible. I just forgot the service even existed at all. The trap is not about value or quality at all. It is purely and entirely about the friction of remembering to cancel and nothing more. Companies deliberately engineer their cancellation flows to be as frustrating as humanly possible, adding steps and hiding buttons until most people surrender and just stay. Deliberately difficult cancellation is called a dark pattern, and regulators are only now starting to catch up to how aggressively subscription companies exploit this loophole. So after this video, I want you to grab your most recent bank statement or credit card statement and actually open it up. Opening your statement is the single most powerful thing you can do to make sure this video helps. Scroll through your statement, write down every recurring charge you find, and pay extra attention to the familiar-looking ones. Those are where the money hides. I sat down thinking this would take 10 minutes and probably reveal nothing. What I actually found in those first 30 minutes changed absolutely everything. The very first charge I found was a premium version of an app I had already deleted from my phone well over 14 months ago. Deleting an app from your phone does absolutely nothing to cancel the subscription, and that is honestly one of the most costly mistakes people make. The billing lives entirely inside your Apple ID, your Google Play account, or directly with the company, completely separate from what is on your phone. So the very first real step of a proper audit is not opening your bank app. It is opening your device subscription management settings instead. On iPhone, go to Settings, tap your name, tap Subscriptions, and you will see every single active subscription attached to your Apple ID right there. On Android, simply open the Google Play Store, tap your profile picture, go to Payments and Subscriptions, and tap Subscriptions to see everything currently active. When I first opened my Apple subscriptions list, I counted 14 active items that I was paying for, and only 6 felt intentional to me. 8 of those 14 subscriptions were things I either forgot about or signed up for during a free trial and never got around to canceling. Here is the number that honestly surprised me most. Those 8 forgotten subscriptions were costing me around $92 a month, every single month. That is $600 freed up every single year. Not from earning more, not from sacrificing lifestyle, just from stopping the forgotten charges entirely. Now you might be thinking, okay, but surely canceling all of those subscriptions has to be complicated, confusing, or incredibly time-consuming to actually complete. And honestly, the answer really depends entirely on where those subscriptions were originally purchased and which specific company is currently holding your active billing information. App Store subscriptions, whether Apple or Google, generally cancel in about 30 seconds directly from your settings menu with no friction or extra steps involved. Direct company subscriptions are where things get far messier. Many companies deliberately hide their cancellation page and make the entire process genuinely difficult on purpose. There is a website called Just Delete Me that rates how hard different companies make it to cancel or delete your account, and the results are alarming. Some companies get an easy rating, some medium, and others are rated impossible, meaning cancellation essentially requires a phone call or written letter to complete. This is never an accident. It is a fully deliberate retention strategy, and every company doing this understands precisely the outcome they are engineering here. So how do you fight back? The answer is actually simpler than most people think, and it starts with something I call a subscription map. A subscription map is a simple list of every recurring charge organized into 3 groups: what you value, what you tolerate, and what you forgot. It takes about 15 minutes to build the first time, and once you have it, you can review and update it once every 3 months. Here is how you actually build the map. Open your bank statement, your credit card statement, and both your Apple and Google subscription lists together. Write down every charge you find, the name, the amount, and the billing frequency, and I promise you will be surprised by the full list. Once you have everything written down, go through the list and ask one single question for each item. When did I last actually use this? If you genuinely cannot remember the last time you used something, that is your answer, and there does not need to be any further debate. Here is a trap that catches nearly everyone: the "I might use it soon" mindset, which is essentially just guilt keeping you subscribed and paying. Here is the hard reality. If you have not used something in 90 days, statistically speaking, you are almost certainly never going to use it. Cancel it. And if you genuinely end up missing the service, resubscribing only takes about 30 seconds. But most people never look back at all. Now, let me show you the math of what even a modest audit can do for your overall finances over a meaningful stretch of time. Say you find and cancel just $50 a month in subscriptions you were not actually using. That is a genuinely conservative starting number. That is $600 freed up every single year, not from earning more, not from sacrificing lifestyle, just from stopping the forgotten charges entirely. If you invested that $600 every single year at a 7% return, in 10 years you would have over $8,000. We are talking about $8,000, recovered entirely from subscription leakage that was silently draining your account month after month without your conscious awareness. And remember, that is based on only $50 a month. If your audit uncovers $100 or more, that financial impact multiplies dramatically indeed. My audit found $92 per month, meaning the 10-year investment opportunity from that single afternoon of honest work exceeded $14,000. Just let that sink in. One single afternoon reviewing your subscriptions can be worth more than many people manage to save in an entire year. Now, there is one more layer to this that most people completely miss, and it has to do with annual subscriptions versus monthly ones specifically. Annual subscriptions are the sneakiest type. They only charge you once a year, so they quietly fall off your radar for nearly the entire year. You sign up in January, forget entirely by March, and then the following January, a charge hits your account that genuinely catches you off guard. During my audit, I found 3 completely forgotten annual subscriptions: a digital magazine, a cloud backup service, and a creative software subscription I never used. Those 3 annual charges totaled $231, money I had already paid and completely forgotten about before the audit even began. The audit is not only about canceling things, it is about becoming fully conscious and intentional about where your money is quietly going every month. Spending money on subscriptions you love and genuinely use is fine. The problem is paying for things you do not even remember signing up for. After my audit, I kept Netflix, Spotify, and 2 other subscriptions I genuinely used and valued, and I cut everything else without any hesitation whatsoever. Recovering over $347 in forgotten charges changed how I felt about my finances, not just because of the money itself. It changed because for the very first time in a long time, I felt like I was actually in control of my own financial situation. That feeling of financial control is worth more than the dollars themselves, because once you feel it, you start making better decisions in every area. So here is your action plan. Do the audit today, build the subscription map, and set a calendar reminder to review it every 90 days. The audit takes 1 afternoon, the subscription map takes 15 minutes, and the calendar reminder takes 30 seconds. Your future self will genuinely thank you. The biggest financial wins are rarely exciting or complex. They are simple, unglamorous tasks that most people keep putting off until they cost real money. If this video helped you at all, hit subscribe, share it with someone who needs it, and go run that audit. Your money is waiting. If you feel like you're earning more but somehow saving less, you're not alone. Don't let invisible spending steal your financial freedom. Tap here for the exact trap that makes your money vanish and how to shut it down today.